10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, people all over the world, welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast, episode number 528. Special podcast tonight, being as it is Veterans Day. We definitely want to give a shout out to all the veterans, what guys who have served in the military, put their life on the line to protect our freedoms here in this country and make it as great as it is. At this time, I would like to bring on my guest host. If he's back there and ready, we'll bring him on.
What's up?
Master Nightmare Jones. How about it now? Yeah,
How we doing?
I hear you're under the weather a little bit there. You doing all right?
I'll be all right. Let's go. Let's do this.
Hey, that works. All right. So episode number 528. Man, this thing been going on for a minute. It's almost like The Simpsons. Just don't know when to quit, right?
That's right. It sure as the heck doesn't know when to quit.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Consideration paid for by the following. Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
All right. So first and foremost, before we get the show started, we'll jump into our sponsors. Got to give thanks to these guys and everybody that makes it possible. Let's see if we can get our sponsors back on here. The Wrestle Talk Podcast would like to thank all of our great sponsors: Retro Zone, Painter's Dream Podcast, the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, Doomed Outfitters, World Domination Wrestling Alliance, and the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. I keep forgetting that group part on the end. All right. So, man, a lot's been going on with wrestling, man. What y'all think about John Cena? He is a Grand Slam champion right this minute, man. Won the Intercontinental belt. You think that was the right move for him?
Yeah, I kind of figured that, that was the one title that he hasn't won yet. So, that it was they were going to give it to him, one last time. And there was no way Dominic Mysterio was going to beat him in Boston. No possible way.
That just wouldn't have made no sense whatsoever. I like Dominic, don't get me wrong, and I love the push they're giving him, but to go over Cena, especially his very last time or very last Raw in his hometown, I think that would have been a huge screw up. Also a great way to get some more heat on Dom, but right now I don't think he really needs that. So I think that was a good move, though. Congrats to John Cena. He ain't got but maybe one more match left.
Now, you want to talk about not getting heat for a young gun. All right. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here, Ace. Because of the Wrestle Talk podcast and me running the boards right now, I think this upstart's ready to make some noise. So I'm running the boards right now. I'm in charge. Renee might fight me about this later, but you know what needs to happen here? Joe, I'm sick of looking at you. All right. You, sir, are done for the night.
He's kicking you off the show, man. Adios, Joe.
This is where we're at, man.
I hear you. Well, I mean, now you got the Assassin Syndicate running the show. I mean, that's how it should be anyway. I mean, if they're going to get ratings, they're going to get any kind of promotion on the map, you got to get the two best out there running this thing. All right, so what's your thoughts?
Trust me, I'll wait for the FWWC segment just before we get a lot of my frustrations off my chest here, Ace, because I got a lot to say to a certain somebody because I'm not done after that promo I just cut. So we do have some important FWWC business to take care of, but we do have to do the most important thing, especially here on Veterans Day. We definitely want to forget this. And that is, we have to take a moment here. If we'd like to ask everybody in the audience here to please remove your caps, place your hands over your hearts, and be ready.
I mean, it's like Fergie and Jesus trying to sing at the same time. It's awesome. For all my stepbrother fans out there.
I am here to officially ask for anybody on the Wrestle Talk podcast that would like to remove that part. Can we just get the regular national anthem playing? I know we're here for comedy on this show, but I'm also here to make sure my ears work by age 35.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you what we need. If we could ever get it past the copyright deal, which I think you could download versions of it, but get Jimi Hendrix Woodstock version of that. That is just awesome. That right there would just bring a tear to your eye. I'm just sure.
No, see, because Night Owl is the kind of guy where he won't shill out the money for Jimi Hendrix. That's why we got Roseanne Barr. All right. Now, if I had prepped this beforehand, I would be doing it. But we are here in the Wrestle Talk podcast, and while we can all spend all night. Yes, I did boot him, Night Owl. You see, because I'm the one running the boards tonight. So that as the way I see it, the young lion with the old soul is feeling like he wants to be in charge of something here for a little bit, even if it's just for a night.
He did say he was under the weather too. Now, I mean, do you really want him on here hacking and coughing all over the equipment? I mean, what if that somehow just mysteriously gets into our stuff? I mean, I don't want that. I'm just getting over bronchitis myself. I don't need it again.
Exactly. See, Ace doing the responsible thing here. See, we're the ones who will take care of this. All right. So we got to throw it to the high spot segment, right? We got plenty of topics here. We actually got a pretty big pool here tonight. It's not just WWE. We got some from New Japan. So we're just going to kick it to DJ Money while we get into the Wrestle Talk Podcast high spot segment.
Mic check. Yeah. All right. Wrestle Talk Podcast. DJ Money. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to High Spots, where we pop news like flare chops. We talk shop, coming through the screens of a laptop. And non-stop like a runner speakers of blacktop. We hit hard like chair shots and backdrops. Like a clock flash, look like a barely fly. Now that's hard. We up to speed while they stay slow. Wrestle Talk Podcast. Now they know we about to start the show.
All righty. So here we are tonight in the Wrestle Talk Podcast high spot segment. So Ace, a lot has, I mean, you just covered the tip of it. I'm sure we have a question here in the high spot segment, but yeah, we have a lot happening in the world of professional wrestling here today. A lot happening in WWE just in the past 24 hours. AEW still kicking with a lot of, I'll be honest, I'm surprised at some of the stuff going on in AEW.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we got to run it through the Wrestle Talk Podcast high spots randomizer. So while I'm getting this set up here, apologize for, there we are, folks. Technology is hard, all right? Let's see, our first high spots question. Maybe I made sure this one was the one we got.
Oh, there we go. Was it beneficial for John Cena to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship?
We got a photo for this, I believe. There we are. So let's run that back one more time. Was it beneficial for John Cena to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship? Ace, I'm going to kick it to you. What do you think?
I believe it was the right move. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, because okay, so think about it like this: Dominic is going to be pushed as a world champion. Them putting that AAA title on him is already putting him in the spotlight to be pushed on a higher level as a luchador. Maybe not even necessarily, just in the WWE, but over in the AAA. I see him jumping over to TNA, taking their title. I mean, there's so much you could do with Dom right this minute outside of just the Intercontinental belt. I believe it's the right time to take it off of him and push him in a different level. I don't see him and Judgment Day staying together long, especially after the reaction to him and Judgment Day after the match. So I see him going out on his own and possibly even getting that Jey Uso treatment, honestly. And if anybody can pull it off, it's Dom.
Now, the question is the Jey Uso thing. Do you think it could end negatively for Dom, given the direction it's been going with Jey Uso?
Not really. Completely different outlook. Where Uso honestly was kind of shoved down our throats in a positive way, as if we were supposed to believe. 1 minute he's the good guy. He flip-flopped so many dang times with the bloodline. That storyline got old. It really did. It was shoved down our throats for so long that we just got tired of him. And then we wanted to see him be a good guy. We wanted to see him at that level of that Roman Reigns level. They never pulled the trigger on the right time. And I think it just completely passed over him. But I believe that his skill set, his mic skills, everything about him right this minute just needs to drop back down to mid-card. I like Uso as a talent, but I believe that he needs to stay mid-card or at least tag team again. Him in the world title picture, I just don't see it. Dominic, I can actually see in that world title picture. Even if it's a fluke win that turns into something bigger later, I mean, give it to him. Let him run with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm allowing me to speak in on this for a little bit, but I'm in the same boat, only in that Dominic has another belt. This is leading into a storyline with the Judgment Day, which I'm gonna be honest, I think ran a lot longer than most people thought it would. Like, I thought this, especially given where it started and where it is now, think about how many weeks of TV we got out of the Judgment Day versus like how many factions in the past 10 years. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like it rivals some of the better ones, but I'd say for modern WWE, they're doing pretty well with it. And the fact that we got a lot more out of them than anybody thought possible.
Oh, yeah.
I think that him losing this belt plays into that.
Yep.
It also gives Dominic a cause, which I think could be great theater. And I'm excited to see where it goes, only because he's still mega champion. So I'm like, just let him hold that belt. Just let him do that as long as he needs to. It's like play into the Judgment Day later, but absolutely start getting the machinations for that happening sooner.
Oh, definitely.
My biggest complaint is honestly the fact that John, I don't think he needed the Intercontinental Championship before he left. Like, I'm not saying I don't think it's cool that he won it, but to me, there's something about the stat that John Cena never won that belt, but he's won every other belt beside it. And I'm kind of like, you want to know why he wasn't an Intercontinental Champion? Because he was always world champion. And last time I checked, the world was bigger than the Intercontinental. So I was always under the impression that if he went his whole career without winning it, it adds a certain level of prestige while also acknowledging that John's the GOAT. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
But it's also nice to just be like, hey, the GOAT does it again. Like a week. I honestly like the hilarity of it's a week before he retires. So let him win the belt one last time. Now, my question to you, Ace, is who do you see beating John for the championship? Do you think it's the person that wins this tournament?
I don't know, honestly, because they're bringing in so many different people from different promotions, I believe. Because he even said that himself, that it don't have to be somebody inside of WWE. So he could be referring to possibly TNA, could be like Joe Henry, something like that, which that would be actually really good to match up. But honestly, if they're going to do it right, they need to do it and let him go out just like him and Randy Orton had talked about so many times before. Let him retire against Randy Orton. Let Randy Orton get that, that lick back from that match that they had way too early in this whole run. And just let Randy Orton be the one to do it. He is still the legend killer regardless. Why not let him be the one to take out not only his best friend, but the legend of John Cena? No, there's no other person that could do it outside of Randy Orton.
See, that's where I disagree with you, only because you mentioned my pick. And I'm very much a person who believes in cause and effect. So of course, say his name and he will appear. Joe Hendry is my pick. I don't care if anybody agrees with me. I don't care if it's the popular opinion. Joe Hendry is the young lion with the old souls pick for John Cena's final opponent. Whether he wins the Intercontinental Championship, I'm not up in the air about that.
Yeah.
However, the way I would book it is so stupid, it works. So everybody think back to, I want to say, when did he debut on the main roster?
WrestleMania is when he come out, wasn't it? Like the very first time?
No, he was against Angle. That was the thing.
Oh yeah, you're talking about John Cena.
Prototype.
Yeah, he debuted on SmackDown against Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Wait, I'm just trying to remember what year it was. So 2002-ish, right? So think back to a young John Cena at the beginning of what would be a legendary career that's coming to an end. The prototype Cena, the flat hair, the colorful trunks, the standard like pro wrestling creative character build.
Oh yeah.
And think about Joe Hendry. Think about his look, and think about how John Cena made a splash, being the person to answer an open challenge.
Ooh,
nonetheless.
Yeah, that'd be true.
So I just want to pitch it here today, folks, that I just want you want some? Come get some. Say his name. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to sing the whole thing, but I picture that. And then all I want is, what is that your name, sir? Because we have to acknowledge that Cena doesn't even know who Joe Hendry is.
True.
Just to put it into perspective. And he says, my name is Joe Hendry. And John Cena says, what qualities do you bring that makes you think that you can challenge John Cena, Joe Hendry? And I just want Joe to have it come full circle, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
Ruthless aggression. And then that kicks it off. Whether he wins or not, I don't care. That is my pitch for it. That is the young lion with the old soul, the way I would book it.
Honestly, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. Another one I would love to see him face is R-Truth. Now, for whatever reason, I would love to see R-Truth. Yeah, have R-Truth beat him. Because that'd be a huge boost for him, for one. And he actually gets the belt, which, come on, R-Truth needs the Intercontinental title. That's who needs that belt right now. He would do so much with it, and his career would skyrocket. But at this point, if they're not going to put the world title on him, let him beat Cena and take the Intercontinental title. R-Truth actually deserves it, really.
This is the part that nobody's actually talking about, which is the fact that John Cena's career and his portfolio of rogues gallery wrestlers, to the point where people get to fan book in their mind who they want as the last person.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because think about how many people Cena's been with over this illustrious career that are still in the company now. They're like, I want the last Cena match. It's like Dom going over the way that he did was so perfect because we got a John Cena Dominic Mysterio match. So it's culturally significant. And then think about how he could rematch CM Punk now that he's world champion. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't really want to see that one again.
The other book that I can imagine would be Sheamus, only because I do remember them feuding in 2012. And, my favorite stat is the fact that Sheamus himself hasn't won the Intercontinental Championship. So what better way?
There you go.
It's all full circle, ladies and gentlemen. It's all full circle. It's connected.
Full circle. What do you think about the rumors of Edge coming in, though?
I don't know about that. That I would think would be cool, but I'm also just like, I could take it or leave it.
Yeah, I didn't like Edge's last run. And then quite honestly, I don't like his run right now in AEW. I'm a huge Edge fan, but right now I just don't think he needs, he said, let Priest take it. He can make it not go another comedy act. That's true. Oh, that's another one. Damian Priest.
Another person to put
can you imagine that?
That's a good call, Night Owl. I'll give you that. For once, you make a nice call. But Damian Priest, he's never won the Intercontinental Championship, has he?
I don't believe so.
No.
Don't he have a video he wanted us to show? Not out.
Yeah. See, this is the thing. This is me being responsible as our host here tonight. But besides me grilling him and busting his chops this entire episode, we have a very special announcement here on the Wrestle Talk podcast. We have a shout out from one Renee Night Owl Martinez, who could unfortunately not make it here tonight. He was planning to. He wanted to introduce our lovely constituent here, co-host Ace, into the show as a permanent fixture on our rotation of our rotation of hosts. But he was able to film this before he was able to call out for the show. So hopefully this works.
Que pasa, que pasa, que pasa. What's going on, Wrestle Talk Podcast family? It's your boy, the one and only Night Owl MX. Why am I here? Night Owl, we thought you weren't hosting the show anymore. Well, I'm not. I needed to make this special appearance to make a great and key announcement in the future of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. As you guys know, we are committed to not only bringing you the very best guests in the world of professional wrestling today, but also bringing you the very best hosts. So allow me to be the first to welcome in my amigo and yours, Ace, as the newest permanent host in rotation for the WTP. Congratulations, amigo. And as a bonus, I leave you guys with the next High Spots question. Gentlemen, Westside Gunn kicked out of a WWE event, certified in the streets, kicked out of a show after being a lifelong fan. Good or bad move for an already rating struggling WWE? Let us know, and thank everybody for tuning in to the world's premier fantasy wrestling podcast and the world's premier professional wrestling podcast, nationwide and international, the WTP.
See, it's just like Night Owl. All right, we got a bit of a thing. He wants to start this with me now, so he wants to point this out to everybody. The Warriors belt is driving me crazy, huh? I gotta relax. No, see, what needs to happen is that one Savior Saint needs to get the let out. Now, ruining the announcement before I make it. Way to go, Gabe. Night Owl, I was making it better. Okay. I think I know what I've been doing since being a part of this show. But to tie it all back around, folks, High Spots, to go off of our one Night Owl Renee Martinez, popular rapper Westside Gunn, WWE superfan who often plays homage through his music, was kicked out of a WWE event this past weekend and was hit for C&D letter. Was this the wise move for WWE? I believe we actually have a photo for this as well. Now, I don't know. Did you actually get an opportunity to see the Twitter on that, Ace?
I've seen quite a bit on it. I think there's more to the story. There's always more to the story. They wouldn't have just kicked him out for no reason. I mean, he's been there for so long, and they've acknowledged him so many times on their shows, and they show him, they praise him so many times. Something had to happen that they're not telling us. And I don't know if WWE is ever going to release that. And if they don't, that's fine. That's their right to. Sometimes it's there's chances to just let stuff blow over. You get what I mean? And I think with the WWE, a lot of times with some of these fans and some of these people behind the scenes, it's best to just go ahead and let it blow over and not make a big deal out of it. And in doing so, you have the people involved basically exposing themselves because, how do they say it? The guilty dog always barks first. It's funny, WWE has not made any statements on it. They have not said anything about it. They hadn't denied it. They hadn't confirmed it. But yet he's out here saying all this stuff. And it could have been a trademark deal. It could have been anything. I know that he...
I don't want to mention this only because I can't imagine it'd be in poor taste that this actually happened. But what if this is a work? No, I'm sorry. You were saying Ace.
Triple H always says you never know. You never know. He's big on bringing these stars and people into the WWE. And there's a chance they could have got him out of the stands and brought him in and saying, hey, you know what? You don't belong in the stands. You've been a wrestling fan this long. Let's see what you can do in the ring. I mean, and they're known to do that. That's how half of them start off as fans. Every wrestler starts as a fan. So it could be a work. They could be pulling the wool over on us, and we never know. I think there's more to it. I think there's something behind the scenes. And when it comes to business, especially, and I hate to say it this way, when it comes to a certain genre of music and lifestyle and stuff like that, they are very known to be involved with stuff they don't need to be in their personal lives, in their music, and all sorts of stuff. And if they start representing something that the WWE themselves just say, hey, look, we don't want a part of it. We need to just ease away from it. And I've had to do that recently myself with the FWWC tonight. The guy that I was originally recording with, and the guy that was letting me, we had a studio together. He was doing all my editing, my recording, and all. He was involved with stuff that just, had it been known that I was associating with him, that would have put me in a bad light. And me being not only with the FWWC, but being owner of Doomed Outfitters, that would have really reflected bad on me. And that's something I really wanted to stay away from. So even though I had to make some last minute changes, I looked like the bad guy in the situation. I had to cut ties with that. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. Prime example, nobody in their right mind is going to associate themselves with PDD right now, right? And what if something leaks later that he was involved with some stuff that he shouldn't have been, and WWE was justified to saying, hey, look, cut him loose. We don't want him around. You get what I mean?
I totally get what you mean, dude. But I'll be sure to give my thoughts on this in just a moment, only because we do have to address these things. And we have a little bit of, commotion going on in the comment section. So I figured we read into this. So for starters, Ninel wants to know, can we get a comment from Ace on the announcement, though? So Ace, you're the newest host in our rotation here in the Wrestle Talk podcast. How does that make you feel?
Oh, man, it's an honor. And just like with anything dealing with this company and every opportunity I get to advance and help in any way I can, I love it. So it's an honor. I'm glad to be here, and I'm going to help as much as possible. And hopefully people don't get tired of seeing this beautiful face here.
And he also wants to know, why let him buy the ticket if they didn't want him there? Dude spent $5,000 for a seat.
Yeah.
The thing that makes it so confusing for me is that he was getting kicked out. See, I don't think it is a work, because it just feels like a little too real, if that makes sense. But I'm also like, what if it is a big dumb work, though? I'm hypothetically speaking, I don't want anybody to get hurt if this isn't a work.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, I can't imagine why he got in trouble. Maybe there's more going on.
Mm-hmm.
He also made a mention of the ratings in WWE recently. And part of me has a feeling that I'm like, maybe this is an opportunity for them to try and get ratings. I don't fully understand their process.
Yeah, until WWE releases some kind of statement on it, I don't think we're ever really going to get the truth. We're just going to get a one-sided deal, and it's going to paint WWE in a bad light right this minute. And can they afford it? I mean, come on, it's WWE. Vince McMahon was always in bad light. There was always some kind of scandal, always something going on, and they still continue to prosper. I don't think this is going to hurt the business any, and I really don't think it's going to hurt the ratings, really.
Anyways. With that, we can move on to our next high spots question. I should mention, not just a word from the Night Owl. I may be able to pull some strings to get a special guest appearance, at least for a cameo, for just a little bit, if I'm able to get it to work. So just allow me, folks. Do you want to take that here, Ace? Can you take the lead on this one?
I gotta ask, what Hall of Fame credentials did they ever have to begin with? I don't like the Bellas. I'm very open about that. I've never liked them. I thought they were a joke, even to the Divas division at the time. I thought they was absolutely useless. They were carried in almost all their matches, and had it not been for their relationship with Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and them being on the little show, I honestly don't think they ever did anything outside of that to really get any kind of real notoriety. I just don't. I think they're overrated. I think people give them way too much credit as far as a legend in the business. They're not. They're not legends. Nothing in their career was ever worth claiming that they were revolutionary in any form or fashion. So for her to come now and do what she's doing, at least she's doing something with matches that are worth halfway mentioning now. So I don't think it's going to hurt her credentials because I don't think she had none to begin with. That's just my thoughts on them.
Now, do I feel that Nikki Bella's return to the WWE tarnishes the Hall of Fame? In a short answer, no. Oh, here we go. Here's somebody who might share your sentiments here, Ace. Total Divas was the only thing they ever did that truly was successful. The title runs were mid at best. Ever sent Wrestle Talk Podcast to cease and desist about 2 years ago. No cap. Wow. Of course they did. They are petty, apparently. Now, I don't really have a whole lot to say about their title runs. I don't know. I know that I don't want this title run. So, I mean, if they give it to her to kind of eke it out, then that's fine. But I'm also like, you're going to get a lot of backlash. Oh, God. Imagine if she beat Jade Cargill for it. That's a quick way to shoot your women's division in the foot.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. No. And then as far as tarnishing the Hall of Fame credentials, I don't really. I mean, what exactly do you mean by their Hall of Fame credentials?
Exactly.
Like their credentials to join, or what their credentials are because they're in the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't. It's hard for me to make sense out of it, honestly.
I think the Bellas are just this. I think a lot of it was being lost in the shuffle, but at the same time, I just don't believe that they really thought that through, putting them into the Hall of Fame as quick as they did. And to me, it was just this whole like, why? You know, I mean, you had legends, man, of that business that got put in the Hall of Fame years and years and years after they retired or moved on to something else. The Bellas were gone, what, a month, a half a month, a year? It seemed like they had literally just left WWE and got put in the Hall of Fame. And you're sitting there scratching your head like, why? Why would they do that? I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. You know,
was anybody thoroughly excited about Nikki Bella's return to the roster during the Royal Rumble?
No.
Or were we still getting the taste of Charlotte winning out of our mouth? Because I was.
I actually like Charlotte winning, but you know, it's you said a lot there with just the reaction. Look at the reactions they got back then. They never really got big pops. Even now, she really don't get a lot of pops whatsoever. She has a few people that have weird nostalgia pops for them. I guess that's it. But other than that, they don't really get reactions from the crowd whatsoever.
Now, Ace, before we move on to our next question, now is where I really got to get we could call this the surrogate Gabrielle Arsene shoot and shout segment, because I got a bone to pick with our co-host Joe Lance. All right, just because I kicked you off the show doesn't mean I'm going easy on you, Joe. I know it was you who let our guests fall through, and the reason why we have to choose Veterans Day here. And all right, and now I have Night Owl on my back this whole time trying to backseat. Point is, I know what I'm doing, folks. And the thing is that in spite of all the things that have gone wrong tonight, Gabrielle Arsene can make sure that at least one thing goes right. You see, because this special episode of the Veterans Day Wrestle Talk Podcast manages to get a special appearance from the one, the only Moby Lee. Welcome to the show.
What is up? Oh, look at the hair, man. Dude, I'm loving it. That's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, a former world heavyweight champion in the FWWC, former hardcore champion, former Warriors Heart champion.
That's true. And Hybrid TV champion. For all of them. All the championships you could win, I won them.
Welcome to the show.
My first time ever on the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Really?
This is
You've
a
only
big
been on the
deal.
FWWC tonight,
Yeah,
right?
only FWWC. It's my first time. And Gabrielle Arcine is the one who got me. First time back, first appearance since my retirement as a wrestler. And I hope everyone out there is doing fantastic because this right here is a big deal. And I just want to say I'm honored to be here. Thank you all.
I'm really glad you could make time out of your schedule. I can try to make the most out of this interview because I know you're a busy man, sir. I was going to mention if we could get your Instagram after this because I know you have a project that I need to be watching soon.
Yeah, I got a lot. I'm still filming. I got a lot that I'm working on. Part 1 of Unleashed, my horror short film series, is out. Part 2, I'm still filming now. Thursday, I have another scene to film. It's intense. It's crazy. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about wrestling.
We are. Actually, if we could, I was going to ask for your opinion on the last question. I'm not sure if you're a huge fan of Nikki Bella, but
I mean, I have respect for her. What was the question? You feel Nikki Bella? Oh, it's down here. So it's a question down here. Now, all I got to do is look down and I see it. So I'm just jumping in. If anyone else who's just jumping in, I'm going to read it for all of us. Because not a lot of people know how to read good, and that's okay. You know, we're all learning at different rates. Not all. That's besides the point. Do you feel Nikki Bella turned WWE tarnishes the Hall of Fame credentials on the Bella Twins? No, I don't at all. I actually think that this is the best thing she could do for her career, and here's why. The sour taste in a lot of people's mouths that they put in their original run of kind of making everything about them. The fact that she came back after being in the Hall of Fame and was willing to eat some pins and to lose and to be in a storyline that didn't make herself the main person. Like when she returned last time, it was, if I'm not mistaken, to Main Event Evolution. She only comes back when she's in massive spots. So the fact that, I mean, now she's in a title picture, but the fact that when she first came in, it was like, let me go in a little bit, put some reps in, get some screen time with these people, and then go there and was able to, like I said, eat some pins, which I feel like a young one would never do that. And it's just her and not depending on Brie. I think it's only going to make everything better within their legacy. And we could see something like a CM Punk where the attitude that he had back then was very toxic, very full of himself, very egotistical, even though he was great. And now that he's back, the person he is compared to the person he was, completely different. You also have people like Ric Flair, his second run when he came with Evolution, fantastic. Shawn Michaels' second run in the Ruthless Aggression era. A lot of people, when they come back with a new mindset on things, they can create magic. And I think that she can as well.
you know, I'm glad you're able to spin it in a positive light. You see, I can definitely see where you're coming from, Moby, as far as because I mean, she wouldn't be here now. She would have to coast off money if she could because she made it on TV, right? Because she was on Total Divas and they get paid for that. So she could easily try and flex that, but she hasn't.
Yeah.
So she's able to take, I honestly think that she can take a better criticism and take negative energy and convert it into something good compared to most wrestlers on most rosters. I think there's a lot of people who get upset about things for less.
I mean, they all get upset about everything, no matter what's going on with anyone.
Yeah.
Because they complain that she came back to lose, but they would complain if she came back and beat everybody.
Exactly.
True.
So you can't win everybody. Now, Moby, I just want to take an opportunity here. You know, I know you've been done with the professional wrestling thing for a while. And, you know, trust me, everybody in the FWWC is always talking about when we're going to see you again. And I don't know whether that's in the next couple of weeks or whether that's in the next couple of decades. But at the very least, since I have you here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, I'd at least, and actually we can tie this in, Ace, because we have something else special here that I think we need to talk about, because we have a lot of breaking news as far as the FWWC's next card is concerned. So I was going to say, Moby, we would love your opinion on the state of the pro wrestling roster in the FWWC. If you could give us your time, sir.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've been pretty detached from a lot when it comes to that. And that's not for a lack of love that I have for the FWWC. As you already know, I promoted this everywhere I went. But where I've been going, I've been full speed ahead and completely dedicated to creating what's happening in the Mobiverse. So not too many people piqued my interest. Brother Brown Bear, I seen he won the tag team championships after defeating me for that championship and became a double champion. Good for him. You got something with Saint, don't you?
Yes, I do. Oh, I'm so glad you could mention him. We have a lot to talk about. No, I do have something going on with him, but I think it's something much smaller than it actually is happening on his end. You see, because Ace will tell you, I laid his ass out on Monday night.
Yeah,
I
that's
broke
shit.
his face.
Yeah.
And he still acts like he can have this facade of a superior person to me.
Which is crazy to me.
And when it comes to somebody like you, Moby, all right, you understand better than anybody that when you lose to somebody or when you win to somebody, because I've taken L's to you, you've taken L's to me, we always make sure the person that we're facing against is bettered from the confrontation. Yeah. And I don't get that feeling with Saint right now. When you were still here, Moby, and you won the belt off of him, I could feel it then. But ever since he got that crown, I think it's changed him. I think he's taking a lazier way out because he doesn't have that put that ass to work ethic. And yes, I'm saying it right now on camera, so he can catch this out later if he wants to watch the replay. But Saint, you, sir, are a punk bitch.
Woo! Goodness. Wow.
This is the reason I took over the show.
Hey, I'm gonna just say this.
The filter, and shout out to everybody. He's probably gonna think I'm some 13-year-old edgelord. All right, I have the Ryuk shirt to prove it. I don't care. I may be an edgelord, but I am the edgelord.
Every other stream that I've been on here, I've been streaming from my phone. Right now, I'm streaming from my custom PC. I've got my microphone right here. These headphones right here, I get. I have the light set up right now, but I want you to know that everything I'm doing, I'm going to a whole nother level. And the reason I retired is because I felt I've done everything that I could have done. And I wanted to put complete focus on my craft. And I think we should all do that. And you are someone that I feel puts complete focus on your craft. And this is my unbiased opinion, because I've known you for many years. Hey, it's been a time where you had the long hair and I had the short hair. A lot's changed. When it comes to Savior Saint, right? He is someone who was one of the top people when I first entered the FWWC. When I was a rookie, when I was going by MJF, before I found my own self in here, he was one of the top people.
Had to take that out. I'm sorry. He was one of the top people. Please continue.
When you are at the top, they say it's lonely at the top. And you need people to keep you good. Iron sharpens iron. And it's easy to get complacent when you're already up there. With me, for instance, especially in my last year, I wasn't about proving that I'm better than everyone else. I was about building people up to be at the same level as me so I can have these juggernauts of matches. And also, I wanted everyone to feud with me to be a much bigger star after me. What happened to you? I beat you a lot until you leveled up and started beating me a lot. I left you in a pool of blood until you started leaving me in a pool of blood. Till you came to my house and smacked me in the head with a brick. A lot happened.
How's Lucille, by the way? Is she in the room?
Yeah, she's another one. She's been getting fed well. If you see Unleashed, you'll see that. But I say that to say this. The last time I won one with you, last 2 times probably, I lost. In recent history, I've lost you more than I won. I dominated Saint last time I won against him. I think that he has been so comfortable with not only being at the top, but also just what he had before. Kind of like how you said Nikki Bella could just coast off of what she did in the past. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's just like, I'm Savior Saint. I'm a legend. I don't need to prove myself. I did. I don't need to go get better. I'm already here. And because of that, he becomes complacent and people start going above him.
And Moby, one thing you can tell everybody since you feuded with me, and Ace, maybe you can even attest to this. What I hate is giving somebody mediocrity. You know, if I'm putting all of my effort into every last ounce of what I'm doing, let's say I'm serving you a dish of food, and I go out of my way to make you this 5-star meal, and then you roll up with a Hot Pocket, I will fight you on the side of the street. All right, you don't disrespect me like that. And I don't think that Saint understands that. I think just because I'm younger than him, he underestimates me, thinking, "Oh, you're a young blood, all right? You don't know what it's like to get punched up a bit, to get bruised and battered. You know, I've got pain, I've got experience." No, Saint, I've got pain, I've got experience. You're just mad because I figured it out a lot quicker than you could. One of the youngest Warriors Heart champions here, soon to be a 3-time Warriors Heart champion in the FWWC come end of days, because I've already kicked your ass on TV. Like I said, it's light work, Saint.
Light work.
Here, I think you can attest to that. Wouldn't bet against it.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Saint doesn't step his game up, he's going to get squashed. It's not going to look good. I think if anyone has anything to prove, it's him. And the reason I say that is because you keep trying to push yourself to be better and better and better and are proving. I haven't seen stuff recently, but while I was in there, I never seen Saint go higher and higher and higher like he says. I know he says he does that, but it seems like it's been like he went higher, 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 but then just stopped there, and then it just became a catchphrase. Kind of like Jey Uso right now. Jey was going. He became the main event guy, but then he stopped going hard. His cardio started tanking. His promo started lacking. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here.
His hair is bad, and he burns his tongue on soup, and he sleeps on the warm side of the pillow. Just say everything horrible about it. Just pile on. We all know who we're talking about here.
Yeah. So I'm talking about, I'm comparing Jey Uso to Xavier Saint.
Well, for Ace, he can't tell the difference. All right.
Yeah.
They're in the same boat. Would you say, Ace? I'm saying, let's ask you. Would you say? How do you feel about Saint in this moment? And is the comparison to Jey Uso apropos enough?
I think that's a pretty accurate comparison. And just from what I've seen since I've been here, and coming from somebody who started hot, I mean, I was right out the gate, just full blast, full blown, and did myself, like very recently, hit a spot to where it's just like Moby said, you had that moment where you've already hit it and you kind of level out, you know, and I made that mistake myself. And do I see him doing it? I was going for his early part of his career, so I couldn't compare it to the early years of his career. But from what I've seen here, him being on fire, my first couple of years to now, I don't see that same fire. So I do think he's comfortable. I do think that he's at that point of sitting back thinking, you're not going to and I think he needs to step it up. I think he needs to wake up and be like, hey, look, you know, I can't overlook
I think the Iron Sheik disagrees with all three of us, unfortunately. But We can appreciate your take on this, Ace, because as you can all tell, I am feeling very strongly about it. Now, enough about this one individual. Let's move on to something bigger here. Ace, if you'd like to help us out here announcement-wise, FWWC tonight, we have your newest exclusive in regards to the newest card in the FWWC.
Yep. All right. So the newest card for which one are we playing now? Mondays or Fridays?
Just making sure I can pull it up here.
While we're waiting for that, did you get some veneers? Your teeth
no.
extra white.
Yeah, I did. So I'm working on the bottom set right this minute. So what happened was I was at work and I went to pull something off my cart. My lift come down, popped me in the mouth.
Oh my goodness.
So it was like, all right, luckily I got the insurance now to take care of it. Now it's just a matter of getting the rest of these taken care of and getting that smile back.
Yeah,
Right there behind you.
I'm like, dang, he come back looking like Roman Reigns smile.
So the newest card here in the FWWC. So here we have Monday Night Mania. If you'd like to do us the honors here, Ace.
All right. So heading into end of days. This is leading up to end of days, guys. We have an 8-person tag match. You have Brothers in Arms versus Ruler Saint and Gabriel Arson. Now, the reason why this is like very interesting is because you already see the heat between Ruler Saint, you already and Gabriel. So are they going to be able to coexist? Which we already know they're not going to be able to. So that's going to be a shit show from the start. I don't know what the one was thinking.
Yeah, what chuckle nuts decided to put me in this match?
That was just a weird one. That's almost as bad as putting me and Remy in a match together as a tag team, which actually that turned out pretty good. Now I can't really say too much bad about that. We actually was in pretty good tag team for a while, but I don't know, man. With what y'all got going on, I think this is going.
Can they coexist? Is what me and Moby do because we understand what a common enemy is. Right now, I'm on a 4-person team with 1 person who is not my tag partner, 2 people who are tag partners who both happen to have a vendetta against me.
I don't know. I think they still got one against him too, though. So it's going to be a matter of who they pick and choose. They could just say the hell with it and beat the hell out of both of you. Y'all have got to stay focused. If you're going to come out of that match without just being completely dominated by Brothers in Arms, y'all got to at least focus long enough to coexist at least. Even if you stay out of each other's way.
Ace, we talked to them. All right. We saw them on the ramp. I think we know what's going to get. If anything, they're going to get half of what they need to expect when the Assassin Syndicate comes coming for whoever gets the belts. All right. Because they may win, they may retain, but I've faced Bishop Devontae D. I've faced Jason Curtis. I'm sure to put it into perspective, guys, all of them isn't half of what's half of me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. But
Mo,
all right, so next
your
match
opinion on these individuals here. You're familiar with me. You're familiar with Saint. You're familiar with Ace.
Opinions on every single person in here. Yeah, just if you could keep that up so I could look at the people because I'm not going to be able to remember all of them. We got Brothers in Arms. Who's the second person outside of Bishop Devontae D and Brothers in Arms? Jason Curtis. I don't really know that person. I'm gonna be honest with you. So whoever that is, maybe he got to be somewhat good if he's a champion. Bishop Devontae D, I don't think he got what it takes. I think he'll get whooped. Brother Brownbeard beat me up pretty bad because he's a half bear. He's the guy that the women pick in the woods over men. But Bishop Devontae D.
Flag on the play for that, sir. I know I've been taking control of the mic here, but sir.
I took his uncle and I kidnapped him and burned the house down that had him in it. And he didn't really do nothing. He had to go get Brother Brown Bear to handle his business. The other two, the Hosses, Hardcore Hoss is one of the greatest wrestlers in all of WWC history. Him and I have tied every single match we ever had. And he's still the hardcore champion.
He is still the hardcore
So he just had it for 1,000 years at this point. They might as well retire it. Like, he is one of the best to ever do it. So I feel like that's your biggest competition over there. Sis, I don't think she's ever beat me once. So it doesn't look like you have a lot. I think you have one team that you can out wrestle, but you also can't trust your team. So it all comes down to what's the motivations? Do they want to win this match, or do they want to screw people over to help themselves out in the long run? Because if they can injure one of their partners, and that means that they're not 100% during their match later on, that might happen. But do they want the glory of keeping
Saint
it up?
and Rage are on my team, wouldn't you say?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oops, I accidentally broke his leg before the pay-per-view. How'd that happen?
Yeah. Maybe they in the Booker's ear. Maybe they kind of make something bad happen. Hey, I don't know. I'm retired. It's going to be a good match nonetheless. It's going to be very entertaining for the fans watching, because that surprise factor and people not knowing what's going to happen or what each individual is going to do, I think it's a lot of combustible elements. And at the end of the day, fans are going to win. Even though you might go through some turmoil, but I know that's something you can overcome.
I always take care of it.
Well, he's got me and old Nightmare Jones on commentary that night too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be ringside.
Oh, thank God! Nightmare Jones is gonna save me, just like he saved this podcast.
Right. Well, you got me there at least. I mean, I'm not involved with the match, but I can't let it get haywire. I kind of need.
Is Nightmare Jones the one who wants people and he wants to be inside of people?
Yeah, Nathaniel Jones. You're thinking
Nathaniel? Okay, different person. He was on developmental brand.
He's Mr. GQ. He's made main roster since then.
He's made main roster.
No, I'm saying Nightmare Jones on the main roster, Nathaniel Jones developmental. Two different people.
What, didn't he have a character change? Same guy.
Yeah, that's what I don't know at this point. Is Mankind the same as Dude Love? I don't know. They all went through three different entries.
Tracksuit Moby the same as Moby Lee?
No, that's someone completely different than me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like Mario and Dr. Mario. They're not the same guy.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, you on commentary, I think it's going to be great. That's something new, and you can help your boy out if things go down, stuff happens, or at least call somebody to come help him out. But I feel like at the very least, we can let the match end, and then whoever wants to jump anybody else, let that happen. Because I feel like for the fans, at least, I mean, this is the biggest fantasy wrestling group in the world. So we can at least watch the match first before it goes all crazy.
I agree. Now, as you know, if you hadn't heard, we have brought back the FWWC tonight, but it is not a podcast. It is not the show that it used to be. This is an actual show. And the comparison I try to give, say you've watched Tosh.0 and you've watched like the Tonight Show, kind of blend that where it has that newsworthy. I have to give updates. I give the news still about the FWWC, but you're going to see a lot of funny skits, a lot of just off the wall humor, but it's an actual show. We got a whole set that we do it in. I mean, it's awesome. So we even got commercials, which is hilarious. So if you ever get a chance, when it do,
who's the host of that?
I am. I actually host that. So,
reach out to me.
Oh man, we got Susie as a producer. She's helping co-produce it, help me run the board and everything in the back, and we do it. But we pre-record it because, like I said, it's kind of a once a month show now, and we do it just updating on everybody with the shows. Plus, I mean, all sorts of comedy skits, commercials, you name it. It's a full-blown show. So.
Listen, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this right here, right now on the Wrestle Talk Podcast. I, the international superstar Moby Lee, a.k.a. your favorite father figure, a.k.a. the creator of the Mobyverse, offer my talents to FWWC tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, man. We'd be honored to have you come on. We'd have
everything else.
Not a dime. Never drew a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime.
Who was that a reference to? I can't.
I swear that was him. All right. I don't know how you figured out how I work this board right now, Ace, but that was not me that pressed that Moby. All right. I hope you know.
That must have been towards the producer, not me. Because I don't know if anyone else won both major championships within the same year. I don't know if has it ever happened.
That's a rookie year right there.
It could have, but I don't know. Some say it had the greatest year of all time.
We do have that Tour of Gold, Tour of Champions. We do have one last card for the FWWC. So this is actually for the FED, if I'm not correct. But if you just like I was gonna say there's one match on here that actually has my attention here, Ace. So
all right,
if you do us some honors.
Now, if you don't know, I have started helping out with the FED. I'm helping to administrate a lot of it down there. So I've had my hands full a lot. And our guys in the FED are about ready for the main event. Heading into December for final stand or final days, I think, if I don't have it wrong there. Friday night's challenges will start a ranking system, and our guys is going to be ranked heading into December. And the two top ranking ones will main event the event in December for something special moving into the main roster. So all of them right now on this card are ready. They're ready for the main roster. Come next season, I can almost promise every single one of these guys is going to be competing for gold in the main roster eventually. But we have a special surprise for whoever wins the main event in December. So with me, I had one that stuck out. We'll start off with the very first match because all these have stipulations still, and it's starting off the ranks. We have match number one, a street fight between Yoko Kensu versus James Maverick. If you have not watched him here lately, he's gotten back into it. He's still working out his character, but he's done good. Yoko, I actually give her a lot of credit with her promos. If y'all have watched a lot of them, she's doing a lot better. She's come a long way. So I'm interested in seeing how they do in a street fight against each other. That's going to be match number one. Match number two is going to be a hardcore hell match. If you don't remember, that match was created by me, Hardcore Hoss, Remy Ricks, and I believe, I don't think she's even in here no more. But anyway, us three had created that match. It's called Hardcore Hell Match, and that is going to be between Sergeant Levi Grant and Robert. Now, Sergeant Levi Grant, him and his partner, if y'all don't know, over there with
that is probably the biggest crop of talent that we've had this season.
Man, them guys are talented as a tag team.
You would like them, Moby. You would definitely need to see some of their content.
Definitely. So I want to see what they do separate, because we put them in a lot of matches as a tag team that I think they were going to, when they step up, they're going to be huge threats to the tag team division on the main roster. But for now, they're going to have to kind of do a little separate. And I got Sergeant Levi Grant versus Robert in a hardcore hell match. And then we got match number 3, an I Quit match between Sky King Oni and Major Xander Payne. Now, Oni, I got to give it credit, man. Regardless of his promos, and I got to be honest, they need a lot of work, and we're working with him. His promos may not be there, but his picks, is dead on. So, as far as just his picks and just competition-wise, he's a threat. Hands down, got to give the man credit. He is excellent with his picks. So, I'd love to see where this is heading with him. Now, the main event tables match. One caught my eye, and I got to give her credit. She is given, and I'm not comparing her to anybody, but I got to give her credit. She is given kind of that Susie House vibe, and that piqued my interest to see somebody that's already got the potential to step into the main roster and run and not be like intimidated by Susie House or anybody else on the roster. I like her promos. I like the picks. She's dead on with the picks, and I'm interested. I was intrigued by that, and like, you know what? I got to step over here and challenge this one. Put her in a match with me. Let's see what she could do. And I'm looking forward to this one. I got to admit, I'm not going to say that I'm fully confident that I'm just fixing to walk off with this match with this one. So if she beats me, y'all, she is prime ready for main event. So y'all keep an eye on that match, and I'm telling you, if she wins, she's going to go on to win championships later on the main roster. That's one to look out for right there.
Shout out to the FED, all the people over there, all the young prospects. They're good, not all of them. Shout out to the ones that are good, not every single I'm not shouting out the ones that still need a lot of work, but the ones that are like at that shot to them specific. Because not everyone, it's not a participation trophy.
That exactly, it's not.
You gotta give props to the people that earn their props, not just for showing up. Hey, if I could say something real quick,
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Floor is yours.
To everyone in the FED, you may or may not know me. International superstar Moby Lee, one of the most decorated wrestlers in this group. Well, former. I'm retired now. I just want to let you know not to get caught up in any drama, any BS, any backstage stuff. Lock in. Focus completely on what you want, what your goals are, where you want your character to go, the quality of your matches. Do all of that. Build yourself up. You're going to have times where you feud with people and they're not going to give you what you need. And not everyone is going to elevate you. And not everyone is going to meet you where you are or bring you up. At that point, you have to do everything you can to know everything that you do is going to be top quality. Everything that you do is going to be on another level, to the point where you elevate everyone that you're around. And then everyone's going to want a piece of you. I'm telling you right now, the moment, because I could piece of me, but I could have easily had been a fire that fizzled out. I didn't. It wasn't guaranteed that I would go up there. It wasn't guaranteed. And there was times where I was caught up in the drama. It was times where I was caught up in negativity. It was times where I was caught up in people who were jealous of me trying to bring me down. And when I took a step back and I said, all right, let me completely separate this and only come from what I want to bring and only associate with the people I feel care enough to be at the same level like these two gentlemen over here. And when I started doing that, everything changed. If you get lost in crap, the people, they're going to drag you down to where they are. So you're here, you're going to the main roster eventually. When you do, don't talk about it, be about it, and focus on being the absolute best that you can be, and everything else will follow.
That's it. Man, I couldn't have said that no better. And
See,
you know,
that's veteran advice. See, this is the work that we put in, guys. Let it be known. Ace was the only one who showed up to work today. All right. I'm filling in. Moby's filling in. You know what? We make it work. This is a very special Veterans Day episode. You're getting top tier advice from the international star Moby Lee. Now, while we still have you here, Moby, do you mind if we go to our next high spots question and we can get your opinion on it? And if you're able to, would you be able to coast out the rest of the show with us?
Yeah. The rest of my night's free.
That's awesome.
Apologies, getting this randomizer.
We're getting the questions right now for everyone watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the Facebook page, Wrestle Talk Podcast, and everywhere else that Wrestle Talk Podcast is on. Go ahead and like that. I know we got some stuff going on in X. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but whatever's going on, the links are there. Just come on and follow. If you haven't already, jump over. And if you're already following, tell your friend, because you have someone right now. They're your best friend. You love them. Can't imagine your life without them. And if you want to share nice things with them, why not share the Wrestle Talk Podcast? I'm just saying, share cool stuff with your friends, including this.
All right, here we go. Got it working. So we have the high spots after Saturday night's main event. Did all the GTSs. That is a very awkward word to create to add plural to. We saw make the finisher look weak. I love the addition of Kenta there. only just in the background. And it's like, have you guys seen that clip of him accidentally conking himself with his knee when he did the GTS?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've seen it. It was
bad. I don't know if it was like somebody wasn't pulling their weight or anything, but it was rough. But
and to me, it looked like he just overextended, like he come way too far up and just whack it, So
now I was gonna take the lead on this one, honestly, just because I'll be the one to say this. I'm pretty sure with Kenta, he has to do more than one go to sleep every now and then. Like he's pretty definitive about doing it once or twice, but yeah, no, I don't really know. Like the GTS is at that point. A lot of legend superstars are considered transitional now. Like think about how many people that the AA used to beat, and now it barely gets you a 2 off the second rope. I'm just saying. So for me, I'm like, I don't know that there's any integrity that needs to be keeping the GTS from looking weak. I think it's where it's at for a reason, if that makes sense. I don't know. But what do you think, Moby?
I think that it comes down to who's doing it and what's happening. The move itself doesn't matter. It's the delivery. The reason I say that, I'm going to use an example. An elbow drop. It's just an elbow drop. People do elbow drops off the top rope. People do elbow drops off the top rope through the announce table. People do elbow drops off of a ladder through flaming tables. The Rock does an elbow drop from standing next to you. But that elbow drop is the people's elbow. And when The Rock does it, that knocks you out. He can beat you in the main event of WrestleMania with that elbow drop.
He beat CM Punk for the WWE Championship with that.
So a Shawn Michaels super kick would take you out. People can hit you with 27 super kicks, you're still popping back up. When Shawn Michaels hits the sweet chin music, you're done. It's more so the person than the move. And the GTS and the attitude adjustment, I feel, should take more instead of just one, because John Cena and CM Punk are old. And because of that, they're not in their prime. He's not Super Cena. He's not going to be able to take someone out with just one. CM Punk, I think this is the best CM Punk ever. Physically, he's much past his prime.
Yes.
It's going to take more than one.
See, I agree. And just like you said, it's all on who does it. And I'm glad you used the elbow drop, because Macho Man, everybody knew when Macho Man went up top, it was over with. So anybody could do an elbow drop, but when Macho Man does it, it's done. It's over. Much like the pedigree. Seth Rollins used the pedigree a lot now, and people kick out of it left and right. But when Triple H does it, it's over with, it's done, and it's a lot more believable when he does it. And like you said, as people age, it kind of seems less devastating. I mean, and you got to make it believable. How is somebody that's in their mid 40s, almost pushing 50, still going to have that kind of strength? And not taken away from them, because I'm in my 40s now. I can go ahead and tell you, I can't do half the stuff I used to do back then.
Oh my God.
To make it believable. Oh, I mean, hey, I still look kind of young, but
in the 40s, still in a wrestling ring. I can imagine. I can't imagine being that.
Make it believable. I mean, you're going to have to lessen it down some. And prime example, we'll look at it from real life, fight and stuff like that. The newer generation,
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Exactly. So the newer generations are training to be able to withstand stuff like that too. Look what happened to Ronda Rousey. She dominated women for so long that people literally started training strictly to beat Ronda Rousey. So when she got in the ring, then she just got her butt tore up, because she had nothing compared to these newer people that were training strictly to beat her. And I think with finishers, it just makes sense that people, now that they're training, getting into the business, hey, you know what? I gotta build myself up to where I'm able to withstand that kind of finisher. So I don't really think it tarnishes the move. I don't really think it, makes it look weak. It just makes it look more realistic.
Yeah. V-Trigger never look weak, though. I understand.
Oh, I'm still paying off that dental bill after you clonked me for it. 2 years ago. I'm still forwarding you my dental bill, Moby.
I mean, hey, you are in the Mobyverse, and you got
guys
a scene
talk
of
about
you clocking me with the championship in the Mobyverse, getting knocked down the hill.
there was also that contract signing, so I guess we'll call it even.
Yeah,
As Lucille, by the way.
that's good. Good, very, very bloody, much more bloody than normal. Hey, we're talking wrestling here.
We can throw it to our next high spot segment.
Hope everyone's doing good at home.
How much did Nixon know of Miranda Ellis hurt their value by not choosing to wrestle on Collision?
We got an AEW question in this mix. So if you could reread the question for us, Moby.
Hey y'all, remember those two people that recently debuted on AEW like 2 weeks ago? They didn't want to wrestle. You think that hurt them? That was my paraphrasing. I thought it was great for him, if I'm being honest. I think you should stand on business. And when you're an independent contractor, it's not about refusing to lose. It's about not wanting to job out as soon as you get there. Because going in and instantly losing does nothing but hurt your credibility. Tony has the weird thing on, if you're not his favorite right away, he wants to make you a jobber for 2-3 years and then you get a push. If you coming in and you're brand new to a company, you want to be taken seriously, you shouldn't go somewhere and lose right away. I think that would be bad for them. And you look at people like Anna Jay, or like who lost over and over and over and over and over again and lost every big match she was in and every little match she was in to eventually come up. Harley Cameron, one of the best people on the roster. How much matches have she won since she even debuted? We got John Morrison and the male models and his wife. They're such an amazing team. They're so charismatic. They're so funny. And they lose nonstop. So who's to say that they'd even start winning soon? Who's to say they wouldn't job out for a full year before they even got their first win? I think that was the right move.
I got to agree on that one.
Contract.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree because see, okay, prime example, and you got to look at how they pushed Sasha Banks, whatever she goes by these days. Look at her, how unprofessional she was when she walked out of WWE. And it doesn't matter what the circumstances was. What she done was basically took her ball and went home. She refused to cooperate. And that turned out great for her. I mean, it skyrocketed. She refused to be lowered, as far as the standards. And you got to give her respect for that. She knew what she was worth, even though we may not be a big fan of her. To her, this is what I'm worth. This is what I'm settling for. So this is what I'm going to accept, and I won't accept anything less. It took off for her. She's got 12 belts now. She's a record holder. So for a team as talented as that to say, hey, you know what? We're debuting. We're coming off of a huge push over here for the most part, regardless of how it turned out. We don't want to be squashed. I give them all the respect for that. And if they treat them any different than how they done Sasha Banks, that's straight hypocritical, really. So
yeah, shout out to Mercedes Moné, by the way. One of the greatest, not only women's wrestlers, but wrestlers of all time. Insane history maker, not only in her current run right now with AEW, but also in WWE. She was the first black woman to main event WrestleMania. She was the first, alongside with Bayley, to hold tag team championships and hold tag team with a world championship. The history she made in WWE, the history she's making in AEW, and around the world is absolutely fantastic. And it pisses people off to see. I'm sorry for being political. It pisses people off to see a super successful black woman. It grinds people's gears. And the more successful she is, the madder people get. But a lot more people are starting to see, oh, she's that good. Oh, she's not defending the championship. No, she is. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at all of the federations and all of the companies that are raising in stock, all of the ticket sales that are rising because of what she's doing. And more people need to start doing that. Anyone can come and just take a quick payday from a company. She's rising the stock. And people like these two can do the exact same thing. And that comes from betting on yourself, knowing your worth, bringing everything that you can up with you. And like I said to the FED, it follows. There's a prime example in real life. Hopefully it works out for them, because it might not. You can bet on yourself and fail.
Yeah.
But you never know until we see. We got to see it. It's all happening in real time.
Now, since we have you here, Moby, I was going to say, do we mind, Ace, if we go back to some old questions just to hear Moby's thoughts on them?
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll try to speed gun it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we already mentioned the GTS.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Nixon Newell and Miranda Lee's. There we go. So we'll go back to, was it beneficial for John Cena to win the WWE Intercontinental Championship?
I think that's beneficial for the WWE more than John Cena. John Cena doesn't need it. John Cena is the greatest of all time. I'm not saying it because they're saying it. I genuinely believe that. John Cena, racism aside, is my Hulk Hogan. John Cena is one of the most important people to me ever. I grew up watching John Cena. I trauma dump, don't have a dad, left me when I was a baby. I looked at John Cena as a father figure. When I was a little kid, I looked at John Cena, hustle, loyalty, and respect, and the way he carried himself. And as an adult, I still look to him as how I should carry myself as an adult. John Cena is incredible. I'm going to cry ugly tears when he retires. And him winning the Intercontinental Championship, the only thing that does is make his final match that much more important, because whoever most likely beats him is not only going to have the rub of beating John Cena in his farewell match, but also winning the Intercontinental Championship. And you know how important John Cena made the United States in the Open Challenge. And some people say that was the greatest run of all time as far as that championship goes. He can't have a long run this time, but winning the Intercontinental Championship from John Cena in his farewell match is going to skyrocket somebody. And honestly, I hope it's Dominic Mysterio. I hope he gets it back, because I do think that Dominic is going to be the next big thing. And I think when he becomes a babyface, it's going to be generational.
Definitely.
Oh, that was fast enough. You know,
2-hour show, Moby. It's fine. No. And then we had this one from Renee earlier, which was, if you'd like to.
Ask about the popular rapper Westside Gunn. So that's a WWE superfan who often pays homage through his music. It went away. It kicked out of WWE event this past weekend. And it was hit with a cease and desist letter. Is that why after WWE? I mean, it's not about if it's wise or not. At the end of the day, if you're using people's samples, if you're a famous rapper and you use someone's samples, I make music myself, you have to clear that. You have to pay for it. You have to clear it. You have to get that person's permission. So if he's using a ton of WWE samples and not paying for any of it, and he is building a brand off of that and making money off of it, super fan or not, that is stealing their intellectual property. Do I think they could come together and make some stuff together? Sure. I never heard this guy's music, but from a business standpoint, I understand that. Kicking him out of Raw is wild. But at the same time, that's not going to hurt the brand at all. I don't think he's famous enough for WWE to have a huge backlash. More than they already do every single day on X, because everyone on X hates everything they do.
Yeah, internet fans are crazy, and it's one thing. What gets me is when you're watching it live, the crowd says a completely different story than what internet fans do. And like prime example, Dominic can come out and the crowd just go haywire. John Cena come out. Cody Rhodes still gets some of the biggest pops.
Yeah, he does.
Online afterwards,
Cody's washed and boring. They're going crazy.
Friend, right? Yeah, internet gets on there and they're like, oh, we hate the fact
me and Cody.
And they won't make up their mind what they want. 1 minute they're like, oh, we want him to win. Like the whole Jey Uso thing. I believe that the internet fans are a lot of what killed the push with Jey Uso. I mean, the crowd's a completely different story. When he comes out, the place erupts. He still gets a huge. But you go online and everybody's just, oh, Jey Uso, he's losing his momentum. He's this. And 1 minute they want him to win and they're satisfied with him winning. But when they win, then they're dissatisfied with the win.
It's the fickleness of they want you during the run, but they don't want you as champ. They only like heel champions. And the moment a face wins a championship, they want him to lose it right away because it's cool to cheer for the bad guy. I think Jey Uso's biggest dilemma is the character that got him over. I don't feel is his genuine self. I think that's a part of him. And he like traps himself within that small part of him. Because you see throughout all the years of the Usos, he's great on the mic. He can go on the ring. Not completely, because tag team wrestling, you can take breaks and stuff, but his feud with Roman Reigns becoming main event Jey Uso, getting better and better after taking the torment and beatings. I only cried 3 times from wrestling in my life. I'm 34, much younger than 40. Hey, no offense. 34 years of wrestling. I've watched since I was a little kid. The first time I ever cried is when Roman Reigns put Jimmy Uso in the guillotine choke, and Jay just had to watch his brother be choked out and to see the pain in his eyes of if I don't quit, like he's going to hurt my brother, and him screaming and quitting the match and protection of him. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. He has what it takes, but I feel WWE does this a lot of, oh, we like this catchphrase, so you're just going to do only this. And they kind of strip everything away. Jacob Fatu used to do amazing promos before he went to the ring, every single match, until they said, we like I mean. We like this and that. And so for some reason, Jacob Fatu's, all of his promos are like 10 seconds long now. Him coming in, saying his catchphrases, and then leaving. Like, I feel like they strip away what got them there once they get there.
Exactly. And it's ridiculous, though, because they're super hot, and they're a completely different person before they get on that level. Now that they're on that level, it's just a watered-down version. LA Knight's the same way. They have dropped the ball with LA Knight horribly. And I believe that LA Knight was way better when he was feuding with like Roman Reigns and stuff like that. He was better on the mic, in the ring. Now you could tell in a lot of his matches, I don't think he cares anymore. I think it's really taken a toll on his mentality and the morale altogether. You could tell he's very just get in, get it over with, and get out. And I believe that's a lot of what's happening with Jacob Fatu, Uso, a lot of them.
Yeah,
they're trapped in that box, and now it's just like, okay, this ain't even fun anymore. So let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, we can take a moment here to talk about it, but I mean, like, I wasn't ridiculously against the Bloodline 2.0, but then they added Hikuleo and Jeff Cobb, and I was like, all right, the wheels have officially come off.
We lost a lot.
Yeah.
We lost.
Especially for Cobb, dude. He's such a good wrestler. He is now a muscle in a group that has like 3 muscles. Like, that's
exactly. That's an imbalanced team right there.
Exactly.
Just like playing Overwatch and having all tanks.
Exactly.
No healer, no DPS.
Just it sucks because Cobb, if he went to NXT, he would have crushed it. He would have been.
I think a lot of people would have been NXT more in NXT. Everyone's better on NXT than WWE. That's just a fact.
I just think it would have been a better way to get his attention. Because aside from the problem with his debut was that it just kind of happened, and everybody online was just like, and I guess we're bringing it back to online fans. Everybody was like, they were like, literally who, and nobody knew who Jason. They were like, now that they've wasted that debut now.
Yeah.
It will forever be associated with that match. And it's like, do you even remember? No.
Yeah, I think they really dropped the ball with Bloodline as a whole. I think they were too gung-ho about Roman being over, that they not only buried the entire roster to make Roman look as strong as possible and built the bloodline around him so much that a singular person in Jey Uso is the only one who got main event level, Sami Zayn to the top mid-card level. Only Roman really benefited from that. And then he just disappeared. And everyone has to just pick up the pieces. And then Cody comes in, and there's no heels because everyone had to be a face for Roman. And Solo comes in, and he's supposed to have this big thing with Roman, but Roman come in, have one match, leave for 4 months, come in, have one match, leave for 3 months, and it's like everything that could have been is gone. It's like, all right, who can we have Solo feud with now? All right, cool. I guess we got to rust this thing with Jacob so they can feud. But then it's like, all right, we don't. Okay, let's add these people in. All right, now let's have them. It's like they don't know what to do anymore. They booked themselves into a corner by building one person.
You kind of mute there, man. We can't hear you.
Dang it.
Whatever he said, I'm sure was really good.
I was going to say, you know what they should have done for some of the talent there? At the very least, Hikuleo, I don't know what his name is in WWE. Him and Omos should have been a tag team. Just that would have been WWE skyscrapers.
Yeah.
It would have been two of the biggest dudes ever, and it would have been over like Rover. And they wasted.
Omos is massive. Yeah, he's a giant. He made me out. I want to say like a month, maybe a month and a half ago, we were hanging out, and bro towered over me, like made me look like a child. I didn't like it at all. Pissed me off. I almost fought him. I was thinking about it. I didn't, but
this past weekend was prime example of like just way mixed match. Me, I stand like 5'7", which originally I was 5'9" until my wreck, and of course, shrinkage, all that crap. And I'm getting old. So I'm at this event this past weekend, and I'm pulling security, and they had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
yeah,
And they bring them out. Luke Gallows is standing behind me. He introduced himself, and they're like, oh, hey, they're telling him that I'm his security. And I look up at him, and I'm like, are you shitting me, dude? Like, I'm his security. This man dwarfs me. How, like, so, yeah, we had a good laugh about it, man. But, I mean, it was funny because the whole time we was there, he was, like, leaning, propping up on me. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be your security. You know what I'm saying? Not your prop. So it was a good time, man. There were some good guys, man. I met them this weekend. They were real good and had a chance to meet some other legends and got some autographs. And
that's awesome.
Oh, man, it was awesome. If y'all remember WrestleMania 1, Liliana Kai, she wrestled Wendy Richard in WrestleMania 1, and she is the third WWF Women's Champion. I had a chance to meet her, sit down with her, talk to her, get her autograph, take pictures. And while everybody else is swarmed over there, Luke Gallows and all them, I'm standing there with Steve Stasiak. He's a promoter. He pushes, a lot of the stars. He used to wrestle himself. And he's like, you're like the only one over here in this line. And I'm like, yeah, I grew up watching her. I was a huge fan of the Glamour Girls and Jimmy Hart. He was the manager at the time. So I'm standing there with them. We're talking. And she spills her drink. So, of course, I'm running over there, help her pick it up, stuff like that. And she's like, all right, well, you got to stand with me the rest of the night. And she tells Luke Gallows, all right, well, he's with me the rest of the night. So I'm literally her security all night, just standing there with her, just because I helped her pick up a drink. And I thought that was the funniest thing, because before we leave, she's like, you come here, I want a picture. I'm like, sure. So
nice.
Man, that was a great time. But
that's what I'm talking about. And I just want to say real quick, that's a shoot. I wasn't just making stuff up.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
He makes me look
He's
nice.
huge. Moby's tall.
Yeah, I'm 6'4", just for reference, and he dwarfed me. Yeah, I was it was a good time. I'm not gonna put too much out there because personal lives, but it was me and a lot of wrestlers from different companies hanging out there. It was a good thing. Us celebrities, we're doing what we got to do. Hey, were you repping the FWWC when you were there?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
So, and I even got them coming on to the Wrestle Talk Podcast and stuff like that too. So while we was there,
That's
Steve,
breaking news, low key. Is that not? Is that a huge announcement of getting these gets?
but yeah, we so while we was there, I had to explain what the FWWC was. And to Steve used to book me back when I first started here in the Georgia Professional Wrestling years ago, and way too many years before I really want to get into. But years back, he used to book me down here in South Georgia. And it was funny because we talked about the times we was on the road together and all this nonsense. And he's like, well, what are you doing these days? And I'm like, well, obviously I can't get back in the ring. That I'm at that point body-wise, there's no way I could do it. I don't even want to chance it. So I tell him that, and he's like, well, are you still involved with wrestling? Well, yeah. I mean, I go to the shows. I help set up. I do security, promote. I think the last bump I took was a couple of shows back. They had a Royal Rumble. And me being security, being kind of still real small and everything, I hadn't worked out like forever. But Dave was like, okay, we need like a comedy spot on this right here. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Right. So they says, hey, look, just run in the ring and act like you're just involved because we're going to leave it open for just an open spot in the Rumble. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And I slide up in the ring. I jump in. I'm jumping up and down. I'm pandering to the crowd. I'm like, yeah, this is my spot, and I turn around and the guy that was in the ring was like almost 7 foot. And I'm like head level with his waist. And I'm looking at him like, oh, shit, give me just a sec. And I turn around and just throw myself back over the top ropes. And I mean, the crowd went nuts. They were laughing about it, but it was just a funny moment there. And I think that was the last real bump I took, just jumping over the ropes. And the next morning, I'm like, nope, never again. Not doing it. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's a trip, man. Get to travel and stuff, man. I used to love it. But I did promote the FWWC with Steve, and I explained what it was about. He thought it was the coolest idea ever. A lot of our guys are still involved with the wrestling world. They're still involved, and there used to be performers in the ring. Some of our guys in the FED now are performers, and this gives them a chance to work on not only their character here, but also outside when they're actually in the ring. And that's the way I presented it to him. He loved the idea. Any way he can help, he's like, hey, we're going to have him on this show eventually talking about it. And he's going to throw some advice out there to some of our guys, offer to even book some of our guys, the ones that's getting into the indie scene and everything. So that'll be, matter of fact, just here in a couple of weeks, we'll actually get to hear from him. But he's a big fan of the FWWE. He knew some of us before we even heard of him. Like some of y'all, he mentioned y'all. He's a big follower of the show. So, I mean, I thought it was pretty neat that what we're doing here with FWWC had taken off to where people in other promotions, people that's actually in the ring, people on these other podcasts, booking these shows, has actually heard of our guys. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, that, back before I retired, I was bumping elbows with many different wrestlers while holding our championship strong. So I will take a little bit of credit from not too much. I take a smidget of credit from that. That's smidget.
Well, we got the custom belts too, and that's what I get a lot of involvement with now with these local promotions. Is I make the belts for them. My company makes the belts and all, and just like the FWWC. So I get with a lot of. Matter of fact, with the group I was just with, Solid Rock Championship Wrestling.
Hey, hold on, let me set this up.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This segment brought to you by Doomed Outfitters.
Outfitters, yeah. So, but we got a chance to make their belts for them, and they just promoted this past weekend had their very first women's inaugural champion with one of our belts, and I thought that was the coolest thing. In the ring, and she's holding it up, and she comes over there, and she's like, "You made this," and we're like, "Yeah." So to get it shown on TV, to get it out there and people want it, and it's shown from here down to Florida, Tennessee, Virginia. Matter of fact, Hoss and them right now with our belts are taking it all over the place. And I mean, they're promoting it every chance they get.
Yeah, Hoss had his belt taken by a wrestler.
Yeah, he got it stolen. But yeah, that's what we do. And to have that, it helps not only promote my business, but helps promote the FWWC because people was like, okay, this is legit. These guys are going for real titles. This ain't just a joke. So there you go. Yeah. My business and the FWWC.
Yeah. Hey, I might have to contact y'all.
Your socials and your what is it? I was gonna say in your your numbers or anything if people got to contact you, or
Well,
how
we
can
have-
they reach you?
Facebook. We have it on Facebook. It's Doomed Outfitters, and it's on Facebook. Just follow us on there, and that's how you message me. All my contact information's on there too. So, yeah, just anybody they want a custom belt made cheap. And I tell everybody, man, you know, our idea is to make it affordable. Everybody wants a title. Everybody has this dream of a belt they want made, how they want it made. And yeah, we do replicas. Everybody wants a replica, but we also do strictly custom belts too for whatever you want. If you can think of it in your head, I could put it in that thing and make it just however you want it done. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna get me one too. I'm gonna let you know right now. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna definitely need y'all can clip this if y'all want. I'm definitely gonna get me a Mobiverse championship belt from you. I'm gonna make it happen.
that works.
I'm definitely curious what that's going to look like. All right. So I believe we still have a couple questions left in the high spot segment. If you guys are down for it,
Let's do it.
or at the very moment, let me check here.
Hey, let's speed run these questions. What do you have like a specific time, like a run time for this?
Huh?
Yeah,
We're closing in a couple minutes or so. It's just we're just kind of playing it out because we got a couple more questions.
Okay, I just want to know because like I don't want to drag on too long, make my answers too long or anything like that.
Not at all. We got.
But,
It's a 2-hour show, bro. We got it. Take your time.
Hey, right. It's a 2-hour show. Y'all heard that? Well, hey. Well, he's bringing up the questions, Jordan. If you're watching this, make sure to go to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. ASMR. The Wrestle Talk Podcast. Go on.
No, dude. Why?
Like everything else, there's a group called the biggest fantasy.
Why am I still letting them?
And you're gonna want to join it.
That is enough out of you, sir. I don't need any more I don't need any more ASMR, Moby.
Hey, I was just, you got the question.
Yep. This one.
Blue Yeti mics, they're great.
Mm.
Who want to go first?
Go ahead, Gabe. Let's take this one.
Made sure I had the right photo there. So what are your views on the Ridge Holland situation? I'll be honest, this wasn't even my question. Somebody want to just fill me in real quick on what happened with Ridge Holland?
He got fired and can't afford life anymore. He's injured, so he can't really work. And he put a GoFundMe to pay his bills.
Oh boy. Okay, that's low. Do I have to start this question?
Hey, I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, I need to follow up somebody else. I can't even appear to look for it right now.
And I'm gonna. If y'all don't know, Ridge Holland is the person that broke Big E's neck and had him retired. I'm not blaming him for that. That's something that I feel the most known for. He went to NXT eventually, but he was on the main roster. And because he can't wrestle now or he doesn't have any money, I feel personally, if you're someone, mind you, they have a lot of expenses. They have to pay for their own travel. They got to pay for all this other stuff. But on NXT, you don't really have to pay for travel and hotels and stuff if you're living in Florida. There needs to be, like Xavier Woods does with his PhD and about down on this other stuff. Mojo Rawley, former WWE superstar, created an organization that he not only makes a lot of money outside of wrestling and has jobs outside of that, but also gets people sponsorship. Shout out to Mojo Rawley, good friend of mine, amazing dude. He needs to get into all wrestlers, any athlete, have other income. And when you're making money, especially if it's good times, put a lot of money in your savings, because just like he injured and got injured, any point, any match can be your last match. And no one is promised a job the next day. It can happen at any point. If you're on TV and you're making this money, not only do you need to save what you make, but also have some other stuff. Ridge, you're famous. Use your name, get some sponsorships, get some, use your
Wasn't
star
that what
power.
Strowman did when he got fired the second time?
Yeah. He started his own wrestling company. You cannot wrestle and make a lot of money, especially because there's a clause.
No, I thought he was
injured.
doing a travel show on the Food Network.
Yeah, that was before he got fired. But he's still doing that. He wouldn't be able to wrestle anyway. Even if he wasn't injured, he would not be able to wrestle because of the clause. So the fact that he can't afford anything, it's just like, to me, that just seems irresponsible. And that's just, I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but there's times where, I'm not going to say exactly what happened, but I had a family emergency. I had to take 3 weeks off work. I didn't have paychecks. I had to take those weeks off work. But I was good because I had over $1,000 in my savings. That's what that's for. That's what emergency funds are for. You mean to tell me, to me it is, and I don't know this person personally, but I think a lesson can be made of, just because you got it like that right now doesn't mean you need to live a lavish life every day. To me, if you got it like that, you should be saving like crazy, because if you're getting suplexed and thrown through tables and doing all this crazy stuff and something happens to you, you should be able to have this in reserves. And the fact that he said, but GoFundMe so soon after he got fired, just like, so what? Where did all of your money go that fast? I don't know. I don't know the situation. That's just me. If we get fired right now in our regular everyday jobs, we would have to figure something out.
I completely agree. You took the words straight out of my mouth. And I know that when a situation like that, when you're blessed with an opportunity like they have, and you're going to make money, they make more money than we make, and I mean, I know to them it may not seem a lot, and people's like, oh, that's not a lot of money. Well, it's still more than what we make.
Yeah.
When you're in that position to have that money, you don't have to live just this extravagant life all the time. And it's about being responsible. Have a backup plan. I understand that wrestling might have been your whole life. It might have been your whole goal. For some of us at one time, that's all we ever wanted to do. But we still got up every morning, still had to go to work. We still had to pay bills. We still had to live life and have that backup plan. I mean, we didn't know if we was ever going to take off. We didn't, because I'm not no big superstar. So for some of us, it just wasn't in the cards. We had to rely on that. And for him to have that kind of opportunity, and he's still a big name in wrestling, why wouldn't he have the money set back? And, all of us, you never know. We've all had situations that come up that put us out of work for a while. With me, out of nowhere, I was at work and had a stroke, and I couldn't go back to work. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to work again. And had it not been for me learning the hard way at a young age to set money back and have that backup plan, I'd have been just completely homeless at the time, and lost everything. So I believe that him having it so soon after being fired shows that not only is he irresponsible, and I don't want to be judgmental, it's just, let's be honest, he's irresponsible with his money, obviously, and he's obviously not playing on the namesake that he could. Braun Strowman got released, and this man is traveling the world with a food show right now, making money. A lot of people get into acting right this minute, and then it's a lot of, and I know that's a almost immediate fallback that anybody can go on if you've ever been in wrestling, because that is the majority of wrestling outside of athletics is acting. There's no excuse you can't go for small roles, something to keep some money going,
and just social media.
Yeah, anything.
Literally make a YouTube channel and just talk about the craziness of wrestling and living on the road and what your experience is like. Build a following. You already have a following. Go. Indy Hartwell instantly started vlogging as soon as she got let go. Both Chauncey Blackheart and Scarlett have a YouTube channel. They had it when they were both in WWE. It still is going on now. They go around and look at like haunted houses and stuff like that. It's very high quality. It's fantastic on Scarlet and Shotzi's YouTube channel if y'all want to go see it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's showing that they're doing stuff outside. And while in WWE, they can still make stuff outside. It can't be wrestling related. But while you're doing that, still have other stuff. Because if this is your only thing and you lose this, you have nothing.
Gabe, what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, what they said. No.
And it's a valid response.
I mean, to be fair, I'm just glad that people are cool enough to pay for somebody to get their like that. That's such an awkward thing to say, is that it's like you don't want to make it sound like you're against people helping him.
Yeah,
It's
not at
just
all.
that the fact that he's like, hey, I need help. And I'm like, okay, either you spent your money irresponsibly or there was a loophole in your contract or something, because you should be able to cover this. I don't know. I've never been in wrestling. I'm used to people giving handshakes.
A lot of people with regular jobs having to deal with stuff like that. You know, it's harder to feel bad.
Yeah.
Especially in this economy. I can't even go to Walmart and shop the way I used to. I'm having to, I'm gonna tell everybody right now that may be struggling, go to Amazon, $2 for a 12-pack of Jell-O, $2 for a 12-pack of pudding. They got if you look real hard, I see like $1.90 for a tube of ground turkey. I grabbed like 20 of them. Like, this is what I'm gonna have for my protein. You go to the bag of frozen vegetables, $1 bag of corn, $1 bag of string beans, $1 bag of broccoli. Take all that up, meal prep it. You can get very cheap stuff if you look hard enough. Anybody who's struggling right now in this economy, you got to look a little harder, but you can make it work. And I think that's what Rich Holland's going to have to do for at least for a little bit until he gets back on his feet. I wish him the best.
Oh man, yeah, we were blessed enough, especially with, like you said, with the food thing. We were blessed enough growing up hunting and fishing and growing our own food. And so even though certain stuff hits us hard, my family still got a farm. We got, we hunt all the time, we fish all the time. So certain aspects don't hit us as hard, but we do understand it's hard for other people. And I think that's something my brother-in-law, my dad, and them set up to where, when they hunt, they keep just enough to where, hey, we're taken care of. But then the rest of it, I mean, they're trying to put out there and give to people. And, hey, look, if y'all ain't got enough food, we got you. We're going to fill your fridge up with all sorts of deer and all sorts of fish and whatever we shoot out here, whatever crops we, once we get our fill of it, obviously the rest of it's either going to go to waste or get sold anyway. So we were blessed with that kind of life growing up. Even though we was never rich, I mean, we made our own, and I wish everybody at some point in time in school, I wish they still taught that. I think that's, the guy that makes me sound old now, but I wish they really taught some of the stuff that we learned in school now, teaching them trade, teaching them how to live outside of depending on, hey, I got to run to the store and get this, to where we grew up. If you wanted it, you either made it or you went and got it, So big difference, man. I've seen it change a lot just since, God, I was a little kid,
I just want to apologize to the deer and fish community that heard that. I'm sorry that you guys are being haunted, but at the end of the day, we need to eat. I'm not the one doing it, just so you know. If the deer and fish get a hold of this, if y'all get computers somehow, he's the one doing that, not me.
Oh man, but I could also brag. My family's not the redneck type. We're all natives, so my family they're Shawnee and they're very. Listening to my grandma growing up, it sounded like she was sitting in a teepee with a pipe somewhere. Only take what you need, never hunt more than what you need, stuff like that. So that was kind of what we grew up on, and I got blessed that we wasn't on the redneck side of that.
Yeah, that's good though. That's great. And it's great life skills. And a lot of people need to have that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we are vastly approaching the end here of the Wrestle Talk podcast, but since we still have you, Moby, I just want to say thank you for accompanying us for our second hour. We love the input. We love to have you. We love to see you. It's been forever. We got to catch up.
Yeah. Hey,
you do
just
brunch?
So y'all know, this was Gabrielle Arsene. he specifically reached out to me. I've been gone for a very long time. He got me back to do this. Just because I am out of the ring and not coming back because I am retired, I did say, and I told this to El Mata, I told this to I don't know what he's going by right now. I'll just say Duan, because he got the different stuff that he does. I told them both, I'm here if you need me. And whatever non-wrestling thing that you got. And this is the first time that I've been called upon. And here I am. Shout out to Gabriella.
Oh.
And shout out to Ace for holding it down for FED. Both y'all. What y'all doing right now, right here. It's fantastic stuff.
Now, since we are vastly approaching the end, I wanted to ask Moby if you'd be so kind as to read out our sponsors as we wrap up here today in the Wrestle Talk podcast.
Let's do it. It's down here.
Yep.
Sponsors, we got Retro Zone. We got Painter's Dream Production. The Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Doomed Outfitters. World Domination Wrestling Alliance, and the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. And I'm reading it like that because I'm reading it as it's coming to the screen. So I may not know what word's coming next. So anyway. Also shout out to Moby.
Now, I was going to say, Moby, as we're wrapping up here, can you let everybody know what you're working on, where they can follow you, where they can find you, your social media?
Yeah, sure. Go on youtube.com/MobyLee. That is MOBYLEY. Or X/MobyLee. Or Instagram/Moby.verse. Mobyverse, my multimedia company that I have tons of short film shows and all sorts of things coming out. I just put out my horror short film Unleashed Part 1 Vengeance Saga. It is very brutal, very bloody, lots of VFX, special effects, practical effects. I'm currently filming Part 2. It is going to be a 4-part series. It's going to be insane. I got a lot of stuff on the way. I even have something called Gimmick Infringement, which is going to be a short film about wrestling. I have a lot of things happening. If you want to know what's going down, when it's going down, and even see behind the scenes stuff, check out the Mobyverse Instagram page. And also, you might even see me pop up in FWWC.
Awesome.
And then I wanted to say, Ace, did you want a little bit more of a spot for Doomed Outfitters where they can find you, where they can contact you?
Yeah, just Facebook. Right now, we're still in the process of trying to get the online store up and going. We will have a local store, an actual building here in Tifton for those that are local that live in Georgia. If you're ever in the area, shoot by. We'll have it up hopefully by the 1st of next year.
We should do this in person if you're in Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
We're
so
going
then
to
we
Florida.
Huh?
Drive down to Florida. All three of us can get together.
Hey, there we go. I want to set up a store everywhere. It ain't just here. I want to put it everywhere we can go. So I'm looking to expand this as big as it can go. Online, though, we right now we're doing it on Facebook, and I'm in the process of getting the online store going to where you can make orders online, and we can go from there.
I'm going to make an order online. I'm going to make one. It may not be this day, but I'm going to make one. All of my money is going into the Mobyverse. But
you made
when I get that
spell, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, I got one of them here. I'm trying to replate, but well, hang on.
Please tell me you have the belt that I plan on winning come end of days, because I need to see that thing. Long story short, we don't have the belt me and you feuded for anymore, Moby. But thanks to Doomed Outfitters, we got some new ones.
This
yeah,
one,
they made this for
I'm having replated. It's one of ours we just made. That we actually had this customized for a guy, and I'm replating that one now. And of course, the new Warriors Heart Championship, I'm replating it, which I'm not going to show it until it's replated because it kind of looks a little funky at the moment. But
come on, give us a sneak peek.
Looks a little rough at the moment. Looks a little rough.
We got like 60s. Come on, I got to see it. I want to see it, dude.
Well, I don't actually have it here at the moment. That's actually at the shop. So
no,
yeah, that's
all gold and shiny.
Yeah, well, I wasn't satisfied with that. there was just way too much of the silver look on it, and I was like, no, I wasn't satisfied. So I had it replated.
I'm so glad you thought that, because the more I looked at it, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of silver on there.
A lot of silver. So I was like, well, now it's just in that, like, I thought I still had time to go ahead and replate it and play with the gold on it a little bit. So that's my experiment with that new plating. So
yeah, they like your team to use a shirt.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. That's what gets me through.
Yeah.
Well, we are vastly approaching the end right here, gentlemen. We have officially hit 2 hours. So, as always, did you guys have anything else you wanted to say before we close it out here?
Yeah, Gabrielle Arsene is going to dominate Xavier Saint.
Unquestioned.
Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. We appreciate everything you do. And if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be here.
So, as always, this is Gabrielle Arsene, Ace, that runs the place, and the international superstar and creator of the Moby-verse, Moby Lee. We're coming to you at the end of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, episode 528. We'll catch you on the next one.